Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. So last time out we sent off the calling card to Futaba, and in this part we're finally going to start our the final boss fight of Futabas Palace and finish it off once and for all. So let's get going. First of all, we need to enter the the very final area. It's a really short area that you just go through. You just have to go through to get to the top of the palace, basically the top of the pyramid. Now the door is open. We just press our button and we head up. And of course, this killer music is playing here. I love this track so fucking much. Life will change. Yeah. I think that's the name of it. I can't remember. I'm really shit with remembering the names of tracks in this game. I think it's Life Will Change, yeah. And whether it's the acoustic version or whether it's the version with lyrics, it's just it's so good. It's really good music for, you know, like the real shit is about to go down. Oh shit, we've been caught.
Let's hurry ahead.
What's kind of interesting is that you can, by winning battles, you can get your the rating to go down, because it does happen if you catch them unawares that you can get the rating of the thing to go down, which is a bit of a, which is kind of cool, but not really needed. Yeah, here. Where's the... Yeah, there we go. It's gone down by 10%. That's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, like I say, it's just a simple route forward. If you don't want to, I mean, you can just try and avoid all the enemies and not waste, you know, any SP or HP. But it's not too difficult. There's not that many enemies that you have to deal with, so we just have to get it done.
Vocal input. Futaba Sakura? Sojiro Sakura's house. And then something about distortion. Distortion. Not again?
You killed her!
You're a blade murderer!
It's all your fault!
You're the one who killed her!
Yeah, and yeah, this is the part where which really makes Futaba's Palace
That's right. I remember now.
much different, or you know, Futaba's Palace when is much different in comparison to the other ones, because she actually enters her own palace, which is quite a cool thing to do. But as we'll see, it does have a rather large adverse effect. But we'll see that a little bit later. So, yep. It's also kind of a sad moment. I get it's kind of a moment which makes sense. It makes sense that the moment happens, though, because it kind of shows that she's kind of losing her shit again. And so she's like, okay, I have to, you know, nothing's changing. The Phantom Thieves don't seem to be doing anything. I've got to go inside myself and deal with this shit. So yeah, it makes sense at least that it happens, even if it's a bit kind of
There's something here.
even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you really think about it. You going inside your own head. It's kind of, or your own, you know, mental construct. It's kind of it shouldn't really make sense and shouldn't really happen, but you know, I think logic gets thrown out the window with these kinds of games, for the most part. And this is kind of a really creepy and scary reveal.
No!
It's not Futaba.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, this reveal of the monster that you're going to be fighting in this as the boss of the dungeon is really fucking terrifying. It's such a creepy and freaky design. Yeah, this is the creature that Futaba's twisted, twisted mind and cognition has created. It's a giant sphinx monster with her mother's head. It's such a freaky design. I do love the design, actually. It's a cool design, but it's also really creepy and freaky.
Look at it fly about. We can't reach it like this.
And for
Got no other option.
yeah.
Let's take it down with our
So for this
skills.
boss, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So to start off with, she's flying in the distance. So that means you can only use skill-based abilities, and you can only use your gun to cause damage to her. And you're also not going to be causing, as you can see, we're not causing that much damage. And you just kind of have to keep going with this for a little while. Until she kind of, because in a minute she's going to, there you go, she kind of slams down. She doesn't do actually that much damage, ridiculously, but you just have to keep going until she kind of decides to come up close to you, and then you can start to attack her with other attacks like either physical persona abilities or your own physical attacks. And as you can see, we're not really causing that much damage. I wonder why that's the case. But yeah, basically this is a case of, and actually it's happened quite a lot in this game, of a boss that doesn't really do a whole, you kind of, it's a boss that has like a specific way it has to be hurt before you can do anything to her, before you can do any significant damage. Now the wing blast is a real pain in the ass because it does cause dizziness, which means there's the possibility of you not doing an attack. You can actually attack, but it's basically a 50-50 shot of whether it's going to work or not. And I think, I don't know, I think it might cut defense as well a little bit. So, oh, that's what it does. As well, it causes technical damage, so it means she gets an extra attack in, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's your hint, so you want to guard. Do it, there you go. Let's get her up. And we'll guard. I think everybody has that ability now in the party to, has the chance of waking people up. Yeah, so you don't really know how many turns it's going to take the first time. I think it takes 3. And then you just have to guard. But plus the thing is, it goes off screen, so you can't attack it. So all you can do is really guard. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass because you can't attack it, you can't cause damage to it. So you've just got to guard, which is slows the fight down a little bit for me. And that causes a good amount of damage. That's close to 90 damage each.
This isn't good.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Can't tell at all when it's gonna attack.
This is close to, it's close to,
That's not helping. You have to
sorry.
tell us, Mona. I can't help
It's
it.
basically
There's
like,
some things that even I can't do.
I don't know what I'm saying. Basically all you can do there is guard. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. It's a pain to fight,
So this
at least in the early section. And it's just takes a while. It makes the fight longer than it needs to be, I suppose, but whatever.
Do you remember?
This is Futaba finally entering her own cognition, which is something very bizarre.
That's correct. Look at the next one. This is
And I like this.
when Mom jumped in front of that
Well,
car.
I like it in so much.
That's right.
Let me explain that.
Next.
I like this in that
No.
it takes all the stuff that we were doing in order to get into the next palace and kind of integrates it into the story and integrates it into Futaba kind of,
Okay, I'll look.
you know,
It's me complaining.
confronting
For bothering her.
what happened. You know, confronting what happened to her mother and
It was me who killed Mom.
what
I was
her,
a bad daughter.
what her
I
actual
let her
cognition
down
is,
and she hated
basically.
me for it. It's
You
just
know,
like
that
I
maybe she's
remember.
remembering things
Are you
wrong,
sure?
if you know what I mean.
Huh? Remember everything. Don't avert your eyes. When did this happen? Just a little before Mom died. I whined about wanting to go on a family trip, but she scolded me and said no. Was that all she said?
Was that all she said?
Mom said.
Ah,
I'm too
you-
busy right now.
Damn it.
I need to finish my cognitive research as soon as possible. And what did you do? I threw a tantrum. Told her she thought her research was more important than I was. That's when she scolded me. What did she say afterwards? There was more.
Yeah, this is kind of the reveal that the start of Futaba's, you know, she's been so kind of screwed up in the head that she's started to forget things. You know, she's not seeing the full picture anymore. This is the first time that, you know, she kind of realizes, oh, my mother didn't just, you know, scold me and just say, you're never going anywhere.
Did she hate you?
That she told her that she was more important than her research and that she'd take her to the to a trip after she'd done her research. And it changes the picture. She smiles.
Which is true. Your
And she's slowly starting to realize that her memories are being
calling me?
have been manipulated and kind of infiltrated. So this is a really cool moment actually in the whole thing.
The hell? We ain't doing shit to it.
Meanwhile, we've been well and truly kicked the living shit out of.
Into your cognitive world?
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. The person themselves coming into the
That's so funny. I like how she's just so nonchalant about it. It's like, yeah, okay, man, so what? It's no big deal.
Killed her.
No.
Why don't you say something?
And this is the guys in the black suits. So that should be another hint at this point as to why,
It's
who
my
it was,
fault.
you know,
It's my fault that
why her cognition has become so distorted. They're, you know, of who's responsible, basically,
Wait.
for her being the way that she is.
Futaba's desires and guilt must have distorted her cognition of her. The wish that her mother was alive again is mixed in as well.
There you go.
Along with those eerie jeers.
Which, of course, is not remotely true. It's just that her memories and her cognition has been twisted.
What does she mean by that? Could she be talking about cognitive science?
With a P.
no one
Damn.
cares about
Stop being a
me.
bitch.
Have had Futaba. She was always such a bother. It seems you caused your mother a great deal of trouble, Futaba-chan.
Yeah, so this was the stuff that... apparently this was the stuff that the guys in the black suits said that were, you know, read when they read her mother's... when they read her mother's will. So, yeah, that doesn't seem right now, does it?
Hey, we're gonna be in deep shit if this keeps up.
So, because she thinks she killed her
Ryuji,
mother, and because
don't be
she
such an
thinks she
asshole.
deserves to die, Futaba
She's
gave
kind of
birth
a
to
kind of in
palace
a
where her mother
difficult
wants
place
her
here, man.
dead? Futaba-chan! It's just an illusion you created. But she never abused you, did she? Boss told us. He said she did her best to raise you alone.
Isn't this a false memory that's been imprinted upon you?
A false memory? Ugh!
You made your mother destroy all her research, Futaba-chan. She had worked so hard on this well. She lost her mind.
Yeah, and that's
It's
you
all
know,
because of you.
as I said, this is basically going to lead up to her realization.
It's her
This is
shadow.
really dark, though. This kind of what happens to her here.
You're the reason she
You know,
committed
the
suicide.
the what's the word I'm looking for? The imagery there is really dark and disturbing.
Was suicide.
Because of the note.
Exactly. The men in black suits read her suicide note to you. And what was written on it?
All of her complaints about me.
So yeah, there we go.
The shock and the pain led you to avert your eyes. But they kept reading it aloud in front of your relatives. Think
Wow,
hard.
that's
Was
pretty
that
shitty.
suicide note real? Would the mother you loved so much truly have written that?
Oh, for God's sake!
Did she
There we
ever
go.
say such horrible things to you?
No!
This is kind of the final realization that it wasn't her suicide. That
What about
the note was
suicide
fabricated. The suicide note was fabricated, and this is what caused her to go down this
They forged her
horrible
suicide note
path.
and laid the blame of her death upon you. They trampled all over your
There
young
you go.
heart. Get mad.
Which is
Don't
pretty
forget
fucking
those
shit.
vile thoughts.
Which is
Because
completely
I
and
couldn't
utterly
face myself.
vile
Your
and
mom's
disgusting.
death.
Even then.
Why did they have to yell at me like that? Futaba-chan?
What denies you is an illusion. A curse put upon you by the heart.
And here we go.
You knew
And it plays
from the
this
very
theme, which is,
beginning.
yeah, this is basically the awakening
You
theme,
cowered in fear.
which I really like.
Ugh, that's right.
So yeah, she's finally kind of realized what's been going on.
Will you die as you were told?
Yeah, do you know what I've just noticed actually? It's
First words.
a similar voice was used. I think it's pretty much the exact same voice which was used by a previous shadow. I think it was used by
I won't let those distorted
I
lies
think it was in the
deceive me
first
anymore.
palace. I can't
And
really
I won't
remember
be led
though.
astray by others'
But that voice
voices
was used
either.
in the past,
I'm
so
going to trust
that's
my own eyes and my own
that's
heart
kind
to
of throwing me out of it a
distinguish the
little
truth
bit.
from the
I'll
lies.
be honest.
There's no way you're my mom. You're just a fake created by those horrid adults. I'll never forgive them.
And finally, we have Futaba's awakening scene, which is, I think, probably my second favorite. It's kind of a bizarre one, but it's pretty awesome. Oh my god. Okay, then that's a little bizarre.
Thou art I. The forbidden wisdom has been revealed.
And I like this because it just gets straight to the point as well. It's kind of like, this time to make your contract. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Futaba! I'm okay. Look at that. Please, help me. That's gotta go.
And yeah, now Futaba kind of takes up the Morgana role here, where which is similar to what happened in Persona 4 Golden, where a later character kind of takes over the kind of advice and backup kind of section from a previous character. In Persona 4 Golden, it was like Teddy was initially that character, and then Rise kind of took over that role. And here it's Futaba taking over from Morgana. But anyway, that's it for this part of Persona 5. Join me next time when we're going to be finishing off Futaba's Palace once and for all. So I'll see you next time for the next part of Persona 5. See you next time.